We're going live.
Hopefully my last kitchen recording.
Oh yeah, you have a sweet like room for stuff now, right?
Yeah, I just got to run my access point over there so I can have internet on the other side of the house.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Which
Indeed.
should be actually easy because I got an Ethernet cable long enough, and I got an attic that literally runs all across the whole house. So I'm just going to run up through the ceiling and toss that cable to the other end and
Heck yeah.
set it up in the attic on the other side.
Nice.
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 I'm going to plug in my phone real quick.
Also, if you're joining us, leave a comment. What do you think about this movie? What do you think about movies in general?
What are your thoughts on movies?
What are movies anyway?
And just what do you think?
How do you feel about motion pictures? Do you prefer movies or films?
Movies are the silly little things you watch for entertainment. Films are.
All right, now you sound pretentious.
This guy is actually spitting right now. All right.
Y'all, I miss this.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
True.
Way too long.
Yeah, it's been way too long.
Dude, I love the fact that you've just got a CRTV on in the background.
You can't really see what's on the screen. It's the deal.
No, but you know it's on. That's what's cool.
It's the Mario Sunshine menu.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love me.
I was hoping you could kind of see it better, but
it's still a vibe.
It might be copyright for all I know. I don't know how that stuff works.
Not anymore. We can't see it at all.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like maybe that's a good thing. You can't see it.
Yeah, okay. It's cool. At the Texas Theater, they've got a CRTV always on and a big like library of random VHSs. They cycle through it.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's great.
Need to get y'all down.
I do have a pretty good little collection of VHSs mounting up on the piano back there. I don't know if you can see it very well, but
yeah, I don't know what happened to all of mine. I look at they just probably got sold in garage sales or something, and now I'm like, oh man, I missed that.
That's what happened to most of ours. Every now and then I'll find one at Goodwill for like $1. So I'll just pick it up. Eventually I will get a VCR and I will watch my my VHS of A Knight's Tale back there.
Whenever I was just in old North Carolina, Mitch and I went to Play and Trade, I think is what it's called. Basically, like for people in Texas and the maybe surrounding areas, Game Exchange. It's very similar. They had a VHS section, and they literally had do it.
So it sucks.
What? I love Game Exchange.
Yeah, the Game Exchanges here suck.
Oh, dude. Wait, hold on. You've posted some amazing hauls from your Game Exchanges.
Listen, they've backed off on movies.
Okay.
And then when it comes to like games and stuff, it's horrible. But
ours is great.
I rebuilt my movie collection at Game Exchange, so I have fondness for that. But like I said, they've backed off of movies considerably, and so it's kind of sad now.
But anyways, I bring it up to say they had a VHS copy of the single episode Space Seed from Star Trek, just the Khan episode, like just one episode of TV on a VHS you could buy for $1.
I love when VHSs would do stuff like that.
It's so weird, but it's so cool.
That's amazing.
Oh.
Speaking of amazing, let's go ahead and do this intro real quick.
Let's freaking go.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Banter Fodder Podcast. I'm your host, Drooby Drooby Drew, joined by my co-hosts, Michael Hoover Dam and Jimmy Jim, the Walker, Texas Ranger Man. I'm a little bit rusty, but somehow didn't miss a single shot there.
You did great. That was really good.
Firing my six shooter on all cylinders. If you couldn't tell,
we're talking about Dune.
Exactly. We're actually going to be talking about Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
Oh. Well, I'm going to be
Good old
very
Hans.
unprepared.
Oh, that's right, because they straight up used that theme in Pirates 3. That's
Do they
right.
for real?
They
Oh my God.
100% used the good, the bad, like the harmonica theme.
Yep.
Down to the electric guitar, that bow, bow,
Yep.
bow.
Oh my gosh. Come on, Hans. You're better than that.
It's kind of epic in the movie.
And then he also
No,
kind of
it's
does
amazing.
it in Dune.
He's doing it everywhere.
He's doing it.
Good artists borrow, great artists steal, as Quentin Tarantino said.
Exactly.
Great, and the greatest of all artists steal from themselves.
Yeah.
True. John Williams recreating the same theme over and over again.
Somehow works.
It does. Well, guys, it's been way too long. So I got to hear about what you guys have been watching lately.
Oh, guys.
So, Michael, let's hear it. Let's
I've
hear
been-
about the millions of movies and TV shows that you've been watching lately.
It's been so bad, y'all. Life has been just crazy. I haven't watched basically anything. And for the most part, anytime I had like at night where I was scrolling, I was keeping up with, I'm sure you guys have totally been paying attention to this, but the Florida Gators coaching search continues. The Lane Kiffin saga. Someone out there knows. So that's what I've been following in my spare time. But listen, I'm a man of many interests. Okay. I can't remember if I was last time we recorded, had I gotten to talk about One Battle After Another?
No.
Okay, sweet. I got something to talk about.
Yeah.
So I also just, before that, I did go to the theater and watch Back to the Future.
I'm so jealous.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I freaking love that movie. And it holds up. It holds up beautifully. It really does. And even some of the super 80s isms, it's like the best of the 80s isms. In like every way. And so I freaking love it. And the score, I always forget how good the score in that movie is. Alan Silvestri freaking crushed it on that one. So yeah, shout out to him. We don't talk about him enough. He's great.
Yeah, he is.
But bye, James. So yeah, I watched that. It was fantastic. And then after that, before that, I got together with a really good friend of mine that I hadn't actually seen in a little while. So that was fun. We watched One Battle After Another, and I'd love to see it again. Details are, this was like almost a month ago, so details are a little fuzzy for me, but I remember the feeling I had during that movie. And man, it was fantastic. I don't think of the Paul Thomas Anderson movies that I've seen, it's not my favorite. But I think someone, maybe it was even you, Drew, I think you might have said it's one of the most accessible. I think I agree with that. But I did. It wasn't quite Magnolia, but Magnolia wasn't quite Magnolia until its second watch. So I'm excited to see how I feel about this after another watch. I really, really liked it. The score was crazy. It was wild.
Oh, I know.
Like really, really weird and abstract in a lot of ways, but then when it needed to be more than that, it was, and it was great. The pairing of Leo and freaking I am blanking on his name. I'm so
Benicio?
sorry. Benicio. Man, that was great. They are so good. And and honestly, this made me more excited to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I've never seen Leo this funny. He was hysterical. I could not believe and it was never like we always talk about it was never just jokey. It was just his character is number one, you really are emotionally invested in his character and his daughter, but you're also like he's just genuinely like every other scene he was doing something that had us just rolling over laughing because he's the delivery, the performance. He's so in it. And so I kudos to Leo. He can really do anything. He really can.
Yeah.
I love this phase of his career that he's currently in.
I didn't.
Dumbasses.
You do need to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Then he had me in actual tears like a couple times in that movie. It's so funny.
Well, I can tell. I can tell. Just a couple of clips I've seen. I can tell. I'm gonna think he's hilarious in that for sure. And Brad Pitt, I already love. I already know Brad Pitt's hilarious. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think I might need to bump up that in my
we're going to be getting the continuing adventures of Cliff Booth soon anyways.
So yeah.
You got
to is that what he's working on?
David Fincher doing a sequel to a Tarantino movie.
Oh, I did hear about that. I totally forgot. That's weird.
It doesn't feel real, but it is.
I know. I'm like, what the heck?
That's super weird, but cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I loved it. I think that everybody should go see it. Well, everybody should see it, now I guess on streaming, but whenever it's out. But it's really, really great. I think I would still put it right now behind Magnolia and tonight's gonna be a struggle, y'all.
There will be blood.
There will be blood. Thank you. There will be blood, and Magnolia I think is still third place, but to be third place amongst those is no shame. So, yeah, that's what I've been watching. Other than like here and there, I've watched like The Good Place and like New Girl and Gilmore Girls with my wife, and just like the randomest of sitcom stuff. So, yeah. I'm glad I had more to talk about than I thought.
Yes, not just all Hallmark.
No, that's that guy right there.
True. Before we go over to you, James, Brian Valco's in the chat.
What's up, Brian?
Said, hello, how's it going? Hope's all well. Things have been well, but just really busy for all of us.
Seriously.
So we had to take a little bit of a break.
Hopefully busyness winding down a smidge.
Yes. Obviously, there's going to be the busyness of the holidays.
I was about to say, well, let me pause. Maybe January is whenever we're
for real. But like outside of that, like outside of like the holiday stuff, I feel like hopefully things are going to calm down a little bit. Because I really need things to calm down. If not, I'm going to start losing my mind. Anyways, though, James, what have you been watching lately?
All right, I'll try to rush through this. We watched the Indiana Jones trilogy. Raiders is still amazing. Temple of Doom is still good. And Last Crusade is the greatest action-adventure globe-trotting movie of all time.
Sorry.
In North Carolina, a big group of us went out and saw Halloween 3 Season of the Witch theatrically. And that actually jumped up a bit on the theatrical viewing. It was a lot more like cinematic than I remembered. It's a really fun kind of scary movie in that it has enough like kind of schlocky horror stuff to like keep it in that schlocky category, but it has enough really, really like quality stuff to it to kind of have it in like the elevated schlock tier, kind of like where you'd put something, I guess recently a thing like a Malignant or something from James Wan, where it's just like, this is silly like there's a lot of silliness this isn't going for like elevated horror, but it's really well made. So like there's no shame in being like, I actually love that. So it was really cool to get to see that in the big great group of us that was out there. I did a double feature with friend of the show Curry. I stayed over at his place, and I broke his heart, but then maybe mended it a little bit because we started with Godzilla Final Wars, my last Godzilla film. I crossed it off. I did not like it. It's on the polar opposite end of the spectrum of like the kind of Godzilla movie that I like. Where like if you're going to be the kind that has big giant mechs and crazy monster battles, I want it to like take itself seriously. Like there's something really fun in like we've got to build a giant robot Godzilla to fight this Godzilla, and everybody's like, yes. And like that's the stuff that's fun to me. Like they think it's so cool and awesome, and then Godzilla Final Wars was almost like a parody where like I don't know, it's so goofy, it's too in on its own joke where it's like we're doing anything goes in this silly movie, and I'm like, well, now it's not cool because you're like now you're poking fun at how crazy it is. I would much rather the earnest take on how crazy it is. So I did not like it, but we followed it up with 300, and I loved 300. That is like one of the most, speaking of earnest, like totally earnest, not just, it is the ultimate like bros around the campfire before the night of battle kind of like telling war story, rah. Like it is to me, it is one of the most epic movies I've ever seen. The direction is insane. And I've been thinking, like, as somebody who really does love Snyder, I don't just with his comic book stuff alone, I'd always felt like I loved him because he approaches comic books as mythology, and he kind of I feel like he kind of gets mythology in a way, and like as storytelling and why we tell stories and blah blah blah. And so it kind of dawned on me after watching 300. I'm like, if I've always loved him because I felt like he's had like a mythological approach, it only makes sense that I would love his actual mythology movie, like, you know, the stuff dealing with the Spartans and everything. And yeah, I think 300 is, I can't believe it took me this long to watch it, but I think it's genuinely an incredible film. And then lastly, I've got on my little Japanese streak. I watched Yakuza Graveyard, which is a really cool, weird, gritty, kind of silly, but cool, silly movie about like about the Yakuza and, you know, betrayals and melodrama and stuff. But it's shot really, really cool and gritty and handheld, and but it's got a lot of style to it too. So I highly recommend that. I watched an early Kurosawa movie, one of his non-samurai movies called One Wonderful Sunday, about a couple in like immediate post-war Japan. They're both super poor, and it's just like they've got like 30 yen, and it's just about following them trying to like make a date out of $30 one Sunday. And it's really, really good, and it almost made me cry, and it has an incredible ending.
Wow.
And then lastly, I watched Samurai Rebellion. It's from the same director who did Harakiri, which is like been the number one highest rated movie on Letterboxd for like 8 years in a row now, or something crazy like that. This is another one from him. It's not as good as Harakiri, but it is still really, really good. Super dialogue driven. Like maybe to a stumbling block, it has a real commitment on the ins and outs of samurai code and who has to say what to what and how you do this when, and like who has to go there for what. You feel you've got all of this crazy immorality of like what this person's trying to do, just kind of having that, like, just a wrong has happened, and instead of being able to address things, it's like, well, no, so-and-so has to go and appear to so-and-so, and so-and-so has to come here, and you've got to, it's very much like a takedown of the samurai honor code in a similar way to as Harakiri was, but really, really great film. So that's been my viewings over the last month or so since we last recorded.
So just a couple things.
Just
Cool.
a few. Just a few. A few small
Brian
things.
Brian says, "Are you fans of Gerard Butler in general?"
I like
The reaction's amazing. I actually like Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a lot, and I know he kind of goes on like your typical mid-budget kind of direct-to-DVD action kind of movie stuff a lot of the time. But when I do actually watch him, I like him. He's in an early what's his name? He's the guy who did Sherlock Holmes and Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie. He's in an early Guy Ritchie movie called Rock and Rolla, and he is really, really, really good at it. It's
Nice.
him and Tom Hardy and Toby.
He's also in a great movie called Geostorm. Greatest movie I've ever seen in my life.
He's in Greenland, right?
Yeah.
It's Greenland, right? I haven't seen that, but it looks like a fun, stupid movie I'd like.
Yeah. Gerard Butler, like I really like his presence on screen.
I do too.
I just wish that he had a better agent.
That's fair. I really like his voice. He's got such a cool voice, and he's great as Hiccup's dad.
Yeah, I was gonna
How
say
to Train Your Dragon.
He's fantastic in How to Train Your Dragon. I think that's where he really.
Which he also performed as in the live action version as well, which I never saw, but I assume he's great because I mean that's like he's meant to play the role. I feel like
for sure.
But no, I like him. Even like his when he first came on the scene with like the rom-com stuff. I think he's great in those too. Was it P.S. I Love You that was him? Or was
I think so.
I think it was P.S. I Love You. That I don't love that movie, but I thought he was good in it, if I remember correctly. But yeah, he's good. I think Drew's spot on. I wish he had a better agent.
Maybe he's got a great agent and he's making lots of money.
That's true. That's true. Just wish. Maybe I just wish he was in movies that I liked more. But
yeah,
and he was great in 300 as well.
For sure.
He really is. I think he's genuinely good.
Never seen abs quite that big.
Glorious, absolutely glorious.
Oh man. Speaking of glorious, guys,
that was good.
I finally saw, sadly, not the entire trilogy, but I saw The Two Towers and Return of the King on the big screen.
Yes,
and it was like a private showing. So that was. It felt like I was watching it
like just IMAX. For you.
No, not just for me. There was like other people there, but it was like, it was a very great. Contained thing.
That's awesome.
So that was fantastic, and I watched both Two Towers and Return of the King in the same day, and we had like a potluck, like in between. So it was just amazing vibes. So yeah, that
ever. Gosh,
it was so good. That was a life-changing experience. I watched the first three, like I've seen them theatrically, the theatrical releases. I never saw the extended on the big screen. I'm really sad that I missed Fellowship though. But man, every single time I watch one of those, I'm like, oh, Fellowship is my favorite. Then I get to the 2 hours and I'm like, this actually might be my favorite. But then I get to Return of the King, I'm like, this one might be my favorite. It's impossible. You just have to pick the trilogy.
Sometimes they're just all your favorite, and that's fine.
Exactly.
It's all good.
It's one movie.
It's one movie, right?
It is one movie. So yeah, that was amazing. Something that wasn't amazing, but I'm still really glad that I watched it. I saw Shelby Oaks on the big screen.
Oh, good. Yeah, tell me how that was.
It was disappointing in terms of like, the way, the direction that it takes at a certain point in the film completely like loses me. Because oh man, it had some really cool build up for a bit. But the way it ends, I think is just it is, I don't know, I'm not a fan. But all that to say, I think Chris Stuckman definitely has the eye to be a good director, because there's some really good like first time feature film direction in here, especially for it being like a very low budget like indie horror film. Um and like even the performances were really good, even from like a bunch of like lesser known actors. So I think just from a direction standpoint, I think Chris Stuckman has it. He Stuckmanized me in that way. Um, but this definitely felt like a first feature in terms of writing, and not like a slam dunk that you get sometimes with other directors. But I feel pretty good that he can only go up from here if he really, you know, takes his time and learns from this. And I feel like he has. I mean, he already has stuff lined up, like that he's already talked about before. And he's got so many, you know, big name filmmakers who are like kind of backing him and giving him advice and stuff. So I really feel like he's gonna be a name to look out for. Um, just in terms of like, you know, an upcoming filmmaker. But it was just cool being able to see it and having like the massive list of names of everyone who backed the film in the credits. And I don't know, there's a lot of love poured into the film, even though it wasn't perfect. So I'm really glad I saw that and got to support it, because I've been a Stuckman fan for a long time. So that was just cool to experience.
That's awesome, dude.
Then for the holiday season, I rewatched The Addams Family, the one from 1991. That movie is so freaking good. It is so
Never
good.
seen it.
It is so good. It's hilarious, and it has some unbelievably brilliant direction sometimes. Like especially I'm blanking on the name of the hand, but there's some really cool shots where the hand is walking around and the camera is like following it, almost like a POV. Like I don't know, there's some really just like creative movie magic going on behind the scenes in that film. And the cast is just so much fun. And then when James was in North Carolina, we rewatched Halloween 2. And then
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, we saw that right before we went to see Halloween 3 on the big screen.
Wow, James forgot you.
He did forget me.
I already mentioned the one we saw together too.
But you didn't mention that I saw it with you.
Yes, I did.
Not enough. Halloween 3 though, love that movie. And James kind of hit the nail on the head. It is directed really well, especially for something that does have the like 80s schlocky horror feel to it. But it's awesome. It is such a vibe. And if the rest of the franchise would have stuck with like that kind of anthology style, I think it would have kept things really fresh. So it's a shame that didn't really happen. And then recently I watched Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, and I thought it was really good. It's not perfect. It's not my favorite Frankenstein adaptation. I think the original Frankenstein film is the best of those. Although I do honestly really love Bride of Frankenstein a lot. So those are like, it's kind of hard to choose between them. But I think production design in this is just so freaking good. It's very different and it feels very like fantastical. It feels like if you were to take, you know, like Pan's Labyrinth or The Shape of Water, and even some of like Hellboy, just like the weird like fantasy kind of look that Del Toro has in a lot of his stuff. That's what this version of Frankenstein is like visually, and it really works for me. There is like a lot of visual effects that don't look the greatest sometimes. I mean, and when I say there's a lot of visual effects, there's not like a lot of CGI in the film, but when the CGI is there, like almost all of it doesn't look the greatest, which sucks. And then sometimes it does have a little bit of the Netflix look to it, but then other times it doesn't. And so it's like a really weird, because sometimes it's like an absolutely gorgeous looking film, and then other times I'm like, there's a couple of shots here where I'm like, I don't like that. And I think a big part of that is just how a lot of digital films, especially Netflix films, sometimes look a little bit too clean.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, and then like there's just a few things with the writing that I don't absolutely love, but overall, I just think it's really good. It's just flawed. Um, and then I saw Edgar Wright's The Running Man on the big screen, and only gave it 3.5 stars, and it's definitely probably Wright's weakest film, and you'll be hearing that a lot from a lot of people. But
It's such a bummer.
I kind of loved it. Like there is so much great here that it really outweighs the flaws for me. And like the premise and just the world building, and the general story, I really love.
General
Yeah. I'm just a huge fan of like this kind of dystopian future. It feels very 80s, in a good way, in my opinion. And like there is a lot of like CGI stuff in it, but at the same time, the production design and the amount of like uh, background actors and like all these extras, there's a lot of stuff that really sell you the world. So even when there is CGI here and there, you don't really feel it because it just feels coherent. And you really kind of get sucked into this world that that Edgar Wright is bringing to life. So, and then Glenn Powell, dude, like, he's already like proven himself to be, like he's a movie star. But this performance here, like this guy has incredible range, and when he brings out like a lot of strong emotions in like some of the big moments in this film, I'm like, this guy is just fantastic. So I really hope that, obviously this isn't doing the best at the box office, and it's not like a Rotten Tomatoes like critic grand slam, but it's still got a lot of positive reviews. And I think just in terms of him being in this and Twisters and Top Gun, I really hope that this is the guy we go to like really lead the next generation of like big action movies, because he has it 100%. And then the last thing I watched recently, for movies, I rewatched Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, the first one, because it's almost Thanksgiving, and that is the perfect Thanksgiving movie right there. Had to beat an old lady with a stick to get these cranberries.
I love that movie so much.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good.
It's so good. Yeah. And then just a couple of other quick highlights. I'm just gonna make it really quick. I finished the original series of Star Trek. Don't remember if I said it the last time we recorded, but I did that. I also started rewatching The Next Generation, and whoa, guess what? I'm already in season 2. And I just watched episode 8 right before we started hopping on the pod today.
Here, The Next Generation is awesome.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched. I'm halfway through season 3 of The Next Generation, and season 3 is where it really starts to find its stride, and it's on a pretty good streak right now.
Isn't there a great Star Trek podcast that like never has episodes?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it another time. And then the last thing I want to highlight real quickly. I've only watched the first episode so far, but Pluribus, if you haven't watched it yet, absolutely change that, because Vince Gilligan is cooking. He is cooking. let's just say someone cooked here. Yeah, that first episode, I've never seen anything like it. So it has the same feeling that I had when I watched Severance for the first time. I was like, this is something special, and unlike anything else that I've seen on TV. So
Apple does it again, huh?
Apple does it again.
Again, if you don't have Apple TV Plus, I mean, you're missing out. It's good.
Yeah, where else are you going to watch Monarch Legacy of Monsters?
Exactly. Wait a second.
This guy's spitting. All right. But that's enough of talking about stuff that we've been watching lately. I know we've been talking about it for a long while. But
listen.
We haven't recorded in forever, so
that was actually pretty good considering how long how long we haven't recorded.
If we would have kept up with our regular watches, I feel like it would have been like 3 times the size of that list.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's jump into Once Upon a Time in the West.
We need a harmonica player.
Yeah. Who's got the harmonica?
R2?
Is that good enough?
It's like the Lego Star Wars R2 when you fall off the cliff.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, as y'all know, who you guys who've been listening to the pod, we were supposed to do like a full-blown Western theme month, and things happened, that didn't happen. So
some things happened. This was not one of them.
Yeah. So it's never too late to the party, but we're finally getting to some of those Western films that we had planned out, and Once Upon a Time in the West was the first one that we had on that list.
No, it was the second one. We started with The Searchers.
We did.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. But I meant to say like the first one on the rest of that list. Yeah. But let me tell you what. This movie. Whew. So yeah, when we were chatting about The Searchers, Michael made it pretty evident that he hated that movie.
That's
he
so
hated
not true.
John Wayne.
Oh my gosh, you guys, you stop that. I liked it. Didn't I give it? What did I give it? 4 stars, right?
I think you gave it 4 stars. So, yeah,
I liked it a lot. It was really good.
Yeah, but the Searchers is very different from this, and I think with all 3 of the Western films that we had planned for, has a very wide like range of styles of Westerns, not just from direction standpoints, but even down to like the nitty gritty with storytelling and going for something that's a little bit more realistic compared to something that's a little bit more of an epic compared to something that's this. And so, yeah, it's fun that we had picked the ones that we did, I think. And I'm really excited to talk about this one. But before we like really dive into things, Michael and I, this was our first time watching it, but Michael, I want to hear like just your general thoughts first.
Man. Okay. So yeah, you brought it up. Searchers. I liked it. It's not like I think I said on that podcast, I really liked it, but I don't think that this is the Western subgenre that is going to be what I love the most. We found it. Well, maybe. We'll see what like other ones we watch, but like this is what I was waiting for. Gosh, I honestly, where to begin? The just general thoughts are, holy crap. I sat there when this one was over. And I was just like, I can't believe this came. When did this come out? Like
69 or something?
69
or 68.
Let's see. Yeah, 68. This came out in
I
'68,
wish
and
it came out in '67.
Lord, stop it. Um, it actually feels pretty modern to me, and I mean that in a very good way. Like it feels it feels very stylized. I feel like I'm watching, like, I feel like I can see young Quentin Tarantino watching this movie and being like, I want to make movies one day. And then like everything he did had a flair similar to this in some way. You know what I mean? And like I just the way it's directed, the way it's shot, the it's very stylized in a lot of ways, and like some of the even like the transitions, the gunshot into the train.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
I was like, that, how did anyone even think of that? Like just stuff like that. There's so many things in this movie where they go the extra mile to be creative when they didn't have to, but because they did, it just makes it that much more special. Lots of just silence and watching people look at each other, and
In the coolest ways
in the
possible, too.
coolest way possible. Like I feel like a lot of this movie has been, like, I feel like parodied a whole lot. It's like when, down to the music, like when people do, like, parody Western scenes and things or whatever, it's always like just people staring back and forth, and you got that bow, bow.
Yeah.
Like it's been parodied so much, and it's so goofy in that stuff. But when it happens in here, I'm like sucked into it. There's nothing funny about it at all, and it's dramatic, and the acting in it sells it all. So much happening in the faces, without words for with these actors in the movie, and they all did such a good job. I had never seen. I don't know these names very well.
Charles Bronson.
Well beyond my time. No, I'm gonna say Claudia Cardinale. I've never seen her in anything before. I like her. I like her a lot. No, she was so good though. Like obviously, like she's beautiful, but she's also like, I thought she was incredibly nuanced in this movie.
Apparently, she's a huge like star of just like Italian film. Like there's a
wow.
like,
Okay.
Fellini. She has like a big.
She's
run
an
of
8.5.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah.
Wait, what did you say, Drew?
I said she's an 8.5.
It's a movie.
It
Right,
is a
but-
movie.
Right. Okay.
She's also in a
That is really weird. I just
Werner
scrolled
Herzog movie.
Oh.
down on IMDb, and this movie is rated 8.5. Right after you said that. That's really weird.
All right, that's amazing.
No, anyway, she's amazing. Henry Fonda and Charles Bronson are so good. And Charles Bronson in particular, harmonica. I love that's his name. He's like the amount that he did without saying any. I feel like he's just like the coolest ever. And I think honestly, my favorite character of this movie was Cheyenne.
Oh,
Like I any time that he was on screen, I was just delighted. He was such a interesting character, and I never knew like what he's thinking, but he's always so like fun to watch. Like he's kind of snarky and like, but like not even snarky. That's not the right word. He seems up to something, but he's also like super likable all the time. Really, really like him a lot. So that actor's name is Jason Robards. And I
Shout out to his Magnolia performance too.
Oh yeah.
Wait. Who was he in Magnolia?
He's the dying old man.
Holy crap, you're right.
Alan Partridge.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's who that is?
Yeah.
Frick, I didn't even know that. That's amazing. Okay. I'm gonna have to. Okay, gotta rewatch Magnolia again. Darn it. That's
Oh
so
no,
cool.
I have to rewatch Magnolia again.
Seriously though, I gotta find 3 hours to watch Magnolia. But yeah, guys, that general thoughts. I just think just on a surface level, everything was top notch. And I'm gonna talk about the music too, because holy frick, like this is one of those movies. I feel like we've covered a couple of these lately, but like this is one of those movies where they kind of use the same theme quite a bit, and just kind of build on it a lot. But like there's not a ton of variance. There's definitely like Claudia Cardinale's character had her own kind of theme, and so did Harmonica, obviously. And
Cheyenne has his
so
own
does
theme, too.
Cheyenne, which I love, is super playful. And kind of weird. Even like there's like this minor feel to it, but then one of the notes is major. So you're like, how do I feel? It's like, how do I feel about this? It's like really disconcerting, and in the best way. And then you got the big cinematic, like the big theme that happens with the guitar and all that.
Yeah.
And when it swells to its biggest point, it's one of the most beautiful pieces of music I've ever heard. And so yeah, man, I mean, from beginning to end, I was super enthralled, like just from beginning to end. I love this movie. Can't wait to dive more into it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. James, before we get to you, I'm actually going to talk first. Yeah, so this is one of those movies where in the first like minute you're just immediately like, all right, this is going to be like a 5-star. Cuz I was instantly locked in. And like down to the like opening credit stuff with like the title and everything, and it like goes to black and it has the title and it goes like, oh my gosh, so much style that it's
the
incredible.
gun sounds too.
Yes, they're so good. But yeah, this is, I don't know, just this is one of those movies where every single aspect of it is absolute masterclass. And I absolutely get why, like, this is in Martin Scorsese's top films. This is in this director's top films, and this director and that director. All the way from, the legends like that to even like, more recent filmmakers. It's one of those films that I heard a lot about, and I can't believe that it took me this long to actually get to it. But I was instantly floored by this, and from start to finish, I felt like I was levitating the whole time, because of the score, because of how beautifully shot this is, and also I think it's got fantastic writing too. This, to me, I love The Searchers and I love a lot of other Western films, but I think this type of Western is what fascinates me the most, where it really leans into the mythology of the Western. And you've got, these really morally ambiguous characters, and some are drifters, and some, are just trying to live their lives, and some are outlaws, and, you've got the good and the bad and the ugly. See what I did there? But this is the kind of Western that, to me, like, this is what it's all about. And it goes hand in hand with a lot of samurai films too. They both borrow a lot from each other. So like when I watched this movie, I was trying to wrap up playing through Ghost of Tsushima, which is a samurai game, also influenced a little bit by Westerns. But I was doing that so I could go play Ghost of Yote, which came out last month. And right around when I watched this. And that game is even more influenced by Westerns. Like when you hear the score in that game, it is full blown Western, just with like a Japanese spin on it.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the soundtrack because it's awesome. But I was like just getting fully immersed into like the Western stuff after watching this. And yeah, I think that this film has kind of solidified the Western genre becoming like quickly becoming a favorite of mine. I still have a long way to go for watching a lot of Westerns, but this is just watching this even from my home screen. This was like a life-changing experience for me. And I cannot even imagine what it would be like seeing this on the big screen. But yeah, I'm really excited to go into more detail. James, what about you?
Sorry, having some sound issues. So I watched this. I was on my Western kick. So I was watching a bunch of the classics, and then it got to the point where I'm like, I think I'm ready to like move into the spaghetti Western. And so I started with, like, obviously you start with Sergio Leone, and I started with A Fistful of Dollars, and that's his very first spaghetti Western, and it was a little bit jarring because especially the first couple, um, the first one especially, but even in the second one, there is like it's all they spoke Italian and then they dubbed in English, um, and so it's really noticeable in the first one, and like you can just tell that like they're recording in a room and then they're just putting the that recording onto what they shot on set and on location and stuff. So I was like, oh, this is weird. This, I don't know how I'm gonna get used to this. By the end of it, I was like, oh, okay. His direction like kind of wins you over and pulls you into it. Also, you mentioned Back to the Future. Back to the Future 3 has so much, so many homages to A Fistful of Dollars and Leone in general, down to like the armor piece he wears and all of that stuff.
I'll have to rewatch that one before I watch. No, I'll have to rewatch that one after I watch some more of Leone's films because I haven't seen the third Back to the Future in 20 years at least. It's been so long.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of references in that are really funny. But then I moved into For a Few Dollars More, and I'm like, oh man, that's even better. And then watched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and that was one of those like there's like pre Good, the Bad, and the Ugly viewing, and then there's post Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Like just a life-changing viewing experience. And I watched Once Upon in the West shortly after, and I think those two especially really show off the filmmaker he was when it came to westerns. He made another western afterwards called Duck You Sucker, which is a great title, and it is really good, but I do not think it is as good as these. I think he perfected his craft with these two. There's just that sense of I think in on Letterboxd I just said that this might be the most directed movie I've ever watched, and I meant that as a compliment. Like there are sometimes you're like, oh, the direction is so good it kind of goes unnoticed where you're just so absorbed, and then there's movies where it's like, no, it's directed in at every moment, and it's all the better for it. That's this movie to me. Every scene, there's no filler shot, there's no filler moment, there's no if he's gonna put it in his movie, he wants it to be cool or at least affecting. If he's gonna include it in his final cut, it's going to be there because he decided this is the thing that needs to go here. And yeah, I love, he does the same thing in The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, where he's like, how long can I go without a lot of dialogue? You know, how long can I stretch this? How long can I just set a mood? And he just stretches it and prolongs it. And it's so cool. You're almost just being like, at least for me in my head, I'm like, they haven't spoken in like 5 minutes. They haven't spoken in like 6 minutes. It's just like, and it's a cool thing. It's like, I've been staring at this mosquito on his face for 2 minutes. This is so cool. Like I love
that scene gave me anxiety.
It was the sound design. Again, it goes back to like everything is direct, everything is intentional. Just the sound and the score, the lack of score, what's emphasized, like just the dripping on the hat, just constantly making there's no just, this is a moment and it needs to be here. It's like, no, if it's here, you're going to remember it being here.
Yeah.
And
the squeak.
Yeah, the squeaky little windmill, all of it. It's just, it's so.
And the way, like, especially having like that level of direction in the opening of the film, even though, you know, what happens there gets mentioned later on in the film. So, you know, it is still tied to like the story in some capacity, but having like so much tension built for an opening that in the grand scheme of things isn't, and also so much direction involved in the opening that in the grand scheme of things isn't like, so it's like very loosely tied to the main story. It's insane. Like all of these side characters who just get absolutely gunned down, but it leaves an incredible impression on you. And you get scenes like that throughout the film where you're like, everything feels important to this.
Yeah. And it's just, it's a great tone set. Like it just lets you know that this is the kind of movie this is. And it's going back to something I was mentioning earlier, like it feels like everything is here because it's he wants it to be here, and over half the time he wants it to be there because he wants it to be cool. Like if it's there, it's because he also thinks it's cool and he makes it cool, and he gives you some of the coolest moments in the entire, like I think one of the greatest lines ever is you know, like, oh, looks like we brought two or no, we didn't bring our, I should have written this down. It was basically where they're like, oh, we didn't bring enough horses, and he's and Charles Harmonica's like, no, you brought too many. Like that line is just the coolest line.
Yeah, it's so good.
And there, that character introduction, that that one image, there's so many posters made of that image, and I want all of them on my wall, where they turn around because I think there's nobody there and the train leaves, but after the last car leaves, you just see him standing there. And that shot of him, like the lone figure on that side of the platform,
with the harmonica in his mouth,
with the harmonica, and the diegetic, just like it's the score, but it is, you know, within the film, and it's so cool. And they like, he just loves a good introductory scene. And so it's like you feel like harmonica gets 2 introduction scenes in it just because he's like, they're both awesome and I'm doing it twice. Because you get the scene and like that dingy kind of tavern thing with the lamp, and I love it whenever he like kind of throws the lamp down and it's on the little ceiling swivel thing when the harmonica's playing, and it just lights him up at the end. You're like, oh, it's him again. He's awesome. So good. Just I don't know, everything about this just feels like it's maximized to be cool and memorable. And there's never that shot that's just there, or that scene that just has to be there.
Yeah, I think the one of my favorite things about this film are the character introductions. Like obviously the harmonica both of his introductions are incredible, but like in that same scene where we get reintroduced to harmonica, Cheyenne's introduction is great.
Mm-hmm.
He's instantly memorable. His theme feels very Pirates of the Caribbean.
It feels very Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes to me.
Yes, exactly. Both Hans Zimmer, so there you go.
There you go.
He definitely is a big fan of this. But yeah, Cheyenne's introduction, instantly iconic, and you get some amazing dialogue between him and harmonica, and
Inside those
harmonica,
coats, there were men. Inside those men, there were bullets.
3 bullets.
Oh yeah.
And then Cheyenne, what does he say? I can't remember his reply, but he says something along the lines of like, well, that's impossible because they never miss, or something like that. I can't remember, but it's like, oh yeah, he's like, well, those dusters are Cheyenne's, are from Cheyenne's men, and Cheyenne's men don't miss. So, like, just man, the dialogue is so good.
Frank's introduction is really good too.
Oh,
Frank's introduction
Well,
is
it's like
insane.
brutal because it's like, now that you've said my name,
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
poor kid.
That's
yeah,
another scene that they just like. I mean, it's almost every scene, but that's another scene that we just. It could have been 2 minutes, and it's 10 minutes instead. That's almost every scene in this movie. Every scene could
Yeah.
be 2 or 3 minutes, especially looking at the words on the page. And every scene is 10 minutes instead. And
This is the perfect example. We talk about, like, that thing that people say, and this kind of thinking is right for certain kinds of movies, I suppose. But that criticism people will say, like, I think this movie was about 15 minutes too long. They could have
it
trimmed
could
the
have been
scene.
tightened it up.
They could have tightened it up. Yeah. This is the anti that argument in like every possible way. This movie was like, well, this scene could be 2 minutes. Let's make it 15 minutes. And it's better for it. And like the tension that is built in this scene that we're talking about, with like the field, just the nature sounds, and then all of a sudden the crickets stop, like in Signs, right? Like very similar to Signs.
There's that one shot where the dad is looking to the right of the field, and you just get in one pan, he looks to the right, and the camera follows his head as he swivels all the way around to the left. The amount of like horizon that is captured just in that sweeping shot with him is incredible.
Yeah.
And then like you just don't expect, like, I expected him to die in that scene. I did not expect the daughter to be the first one to get shot in there. So it's like kind of even surprises you there. And then they just mutilate the family. Like, I didn't expect that. Like, it was just the whole family's gone, and except for the kid who dies, just a little later.
Yeah. And they do
Frank's
a good
intro.
job of like making you think like, oh, maybe he's gonna spare him, and then the kid's gonna like join the gang.
He may have, if he didn't say the name.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's oh man, an incredible introduction, incredible tension building, and they do that. Any scene with any sort of action, the tension building is unreal. Even the scene where harmonica is interrogating the guy, and there's like the thing that's like rolling, and he starts like choking him on it. Like what's the director's name? Is it Sergio Leone?
Sergio Leone.
Yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of that for a second. He makes every scene in this world worthwhile, even if it's not necessarily like moving the plot forward, in a way that other movies would. Every scene in this is worthwhile because of the way that it's directed and because of the way it builds tension or because of the way it's just cool. Like it has amazing music or, whatever. Like there's always something worthwhile and memorable about each of these scenes. And so having, each sequence be like 10 minutes long every single time makes it so worthwhile.
And speaking of like taking a scene that could be shorter and then making it 10 minutes and still making that 10 minutes worthwhile and being a character introduction and great music. The introduction of Claudia Cardinale in this.
Thank you. I was going to bring that up.
So when we eventually get around to our score episode, Jill's America is the track that is one of my 5 tracks.
Whoa.
This is one of the most like soul-stirring tracks ever for me. Just the quiet initial like dun 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 up when the vocals come in and when it swells. I was at a coffee shop one time talking with a friend, and this coffee shop randomly threw on Jill's America, and I was like,
awesome.
Hold up, I need a. I'm about to like, I feel like I'm about to cry. I don't know, like it's the most normal conversation in the world, but I feel like I'm about to cry.
You clearly weren't at a Starbucks.
No, I was not.
They would never play something that cool.
No. But her introduction, when she comes off the train expecting to find him and he's not there, the shot of her, like I literally rewatched this like 3 or 4 times when we watched it for this episode. When she gets off the train, she's got her bags, and you first hear the vocals first come in, and you watch her exit the train, walk down the platform, walk into. Oh my gosh, the blocking is so good. She walks into the door and we just watch her pay for everything through the window as the music continues to play. She's exchanging it. There's no cuts. You watch this whole transaction, can't hear any of the dialogue. And then as she steps into the town, all in one shot, the camera turns out to be a crane, on a crane the whole time, and just cranes over the building into the whole town as the track swells. And I'm like, insane. That's whenever I feel like I'm coming off my couch. I'm like, what is this? How can movies do this? I don't get it. It's one of those like one of the most memorable like movie moments of all time for me. Just the combination of like the patience and the direction, the camera, just letting everything take its time so you could just get that exclamation point at the end and just like freaking knock your hair back and blow you away.
Dude, I feel like you're about to cry right now, bro.
Dude, I want to cry. It's seriously, if you just, I play that track all the time when I'm driving. I'll just be like, I need to listen to this. And I like max the volume out. And I'm like, this is one of the most incredible pieces. Like I want to cry every time I hear it. It's one of those gorgeous tracks ever.
It's so good. Yeah. It is so good. And I love every track that like you're right. Like every character has an incredibly memorable introduction. And each one of them has a very, very specific and different theme that does reprise many times in the movie.
And that theme is inextricably linked from their introduction. It's like the movie wants you to think this person and this sound go hand in hand. Like they are
100%. Anytime Cheyenne comes on the scene, you hear that.
Yeah, you're just like he's
just a
no
silly
good.
goofy guy.
Yeah, he's obviously a silly goofy guy, and he's up to no good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then anytime harmonica even is about to come on the scene, you know he's about to come on the scene.
Yeah,
because
and it's always
himself.
like the way that this guy aura farms just standing there.
No one
is
has
white.
aura farms harder.
Exactly. The track perfectly matches that, but also the track I feel like, especially when like the guitar comes in and everything, there's because of like I want to save it for later to like really talk about it. But when we get that insane reveal later in the film,
Yeah.
his theme like makes so much sense because there's that behind it driving it, and then Jill's theme, the same thing there. Like there's something, like at first it's like almost like hopeful, and like, she's stepping into like a new world, and like it's got that kind of feel to it. Well, then as it goes, it's also like in a way almost a little bit melancholic, and
Yeah.
it's just like each of those tracks, each of those themes perfectly like encapsulates exactly who the character is and the like emotional journeys that they go through in the film.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff.
Yep. Agreed. Honestly, I don't want to sound hyperbolic here because I know I just glazed Sign's score as well. Last episode we did. Well, one of the last episodes we did. This might be like one of the top 10 scores of all time for my personal preference. I've seen this movie twice, and the four main themes that we've talked about are in my brain like nonstop. Like you can't say that. There's not movies. Movies don't typically have scores that do that, and the ones that do need to be celebrated, and that's what we're doing here. And I not only is it just like, oh yeah, it's super catchy. It's incredibly catchy, but it's also inextricably tied to these characters and represents these characters who are all extremely memorable. And so like it makes me the music literally takes me back to these characters, unlike many movies do. Like I feel like some of the movies that do it the best are obviously like John Williams has his, and then like Lord of the Rings drops you into Middle Earth. The score like transports you there. This kind of transports me into the West.
Yeah.
and it makes me think of these characters, and it's incredible. This score will go on my playlist of like my favorite scores to just listen to because I love the sound. I just love to listen to it.
Yeah. And you're right, like it is so
Brian says, I don't want to be hyperbolic. Usually means some big hyperbole is coming.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
You're not wrong, but I'm serious.
This time it's real. All right.
It's
again, no hyperbole.
What's the great John Mulaney joke?
Epitome of
that
hyperbole.
Isn't the epitome of hyperbole. Yeah. But yeah, and it is so tied with the characters though, where it's like you can't think of Cheyenne's theme without immediately seeing his goofy grin.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, at least for me, I can't hear Jill's America without that image of just her first like exiting the train looking hopeful and then sad.
Mm-hmm.
And of course you can't hear the harmonica without thinking of harmonica. Like it's just it's the sound of the character, like through and through, and in the best way. And it makes sense that they get reused so much because these are our characters for the movies.
Yeah.
I also do love too, like maybe it does it a little less so with Cheyenne's because it is so understated to a degree, but some of these scores when they like blast into the movie, it's like move out of the way, everything, the music is happening now. And I love that so much. It's like bow, bow, and you have no choice but to be swept away by the music. And I love that too. So cool. I got chills just talking about the music. It's so freaking good.
Let's just stop this and go rewatch it.
All right.
right,
See you
yeah.
guys later.
End of the stream. Time to rewatch the movie again.
Also, Curry says, "Hey fellas, love this movie."
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell, but we do too.
Yeah. There's a right opinion and a wrong opinion on this one.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Anyone who doesn't give it 5 stars. Oh wait, Curry didn't give it 5 stars.
Can't. I hope you don't hate me later. I'm just kidding. This is a 5-star movie. I think. Did I give this 5 stars?
You did.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I know I talked a lot about this in the Searchers episode. One of my favorite things about the Western is like just the shorthand that it gets to develop in terms of like you see this, you think this, like black hat, white hat kind of thing of like you create the Western as a genre has its own grammar in a way that I just really, really love. And I think this uses it in a really cool way in the train and what the train means. The train just as this kind of it's the new world, it's society, it's civilization, kind of cultivating and developing the frontier leaving in to make way for cities and railroads and all of that. And you kind of get the sense of like in a way, almost a kind of last hurrah for these kinds of people. Like, I think it's a really cool thing to have the train or the railroad itself as a kind of a deadline.
Yes.
Like high noon has the ticking clock. When we get to noon, and Once Upon a Time in the West ends up having the train. So it's like we basically have until civilization gets here. To settle everything. And there's a line. There's a line where Frank mentions, I think it's Frank mentions that they're the last of that ancient race known as man or something like that. Like basically like we are like we're at the tail end of this larger than life kind of people. The harmonicas and Franks, the archetypal kind of big picture kind of character is kind of reaching its end, and Frank as a villain is kind of also getting left behind. And like you just get to say all of the loose ends of all these kinds of characters are having to kind of get tied up and finished as the train kind of shows up and starts to sweep away this kind of this era of the West. And I really like that. I feel like it's Leone. His Dollars trilogy are very much full-fledged spaghetti Western, and I love them, especially especially The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. But this feels like him being more like classic Western in a sense, and I think he does it super well with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I also like to double down on like the train, the imagery of the painting with the ocean, and how it's like a double meaning, because you get the character, he ends up basically drowning to death, but at the same time, the painting being on the train, being like this unstoppable moving force, it just like perfectly mirrors that painting. And I think that's why there's so much focus on it outside of just the context of that part later on, where we see those ocean waves several times. That this train is just like a wave that's crashing in and there's no stopping it. So yeah, I don't know. We've talked about it before, but like that theme of like the new frontier and or sorry, the old ways dying and like the new frontier industrialization coming in. The way it's handled in this film is all time great.
That may be, I don't know. There is something about that I do just feel like I gravitate towards, where it's like, what do you do with the people that remain when you kind of cap off an era? And I think that is something that this kind of does have in common with something like The Searchers. It's what, like, to me, the ending of The Searchers is one of those all-time moments of like the camera pulls back into the house outside of the frontier, pulls into the building, into the structure, and we leave him outside. You know, like what happens to these kinds of larger than life characters that kind of built the world that no longer has the place for them? It's just such a cool, I don't know. Anytime that idea is in a Western, I'm like, yeah, this is the good stuff.
Yeah.
That's meta in a good way.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of meta in a really good way.
And Harmonica is the one character who doesn't get killed off. And what does he do? He doesn't stay. He leaves.
Yeah.
And so it may be like a trope, but it goes hard.
And it's a trope that we see, like, I'm sure it was brought up when we did Mad Max, but like Mad Max is just a dystopian Western, you know. He's like, when you think about especially the Road Warrior, he is the High Plains Drifter, you know. He is the guy who especially in that one and in Fury Road, he is the guy who walks into a town, you know, and
sees some assless chaps.
Yeah, exactly, and has to do something about it.
By the way, I just love the idea that Tina Turner is in a Western.
She is.
She is in a Western. I kind of love it.
Yeah. But like, when you think about just the parallels between him leaving at the end of Road Warrior, or him, like, whenever, you know, things are made better at the Citadel and they're, you know, they'll let them up. They're letting them up. This conflict is resolved, and the last image we have of him is him walking off back into the frontier, into the desert. And that's Harmonica here. You know, he's entered into a story, and although he actually has a lot of ties to this story, as we learn, but it ends, you know, with him walking away from this new world built. You know, the parallels between, you know, the actual creation of this newer society in Fury Road, and the creation of the railroad, and the gathering of everybody around the water, and each of those endings really. And he has no part. He's not taking part in that celebration at all. It's a celebration for others and not for him. And he walks off, and I don't know why, but that idea of a celebration happening and one character just not taking part and walking off is like, So good.
I love that. I think it's time for me to watch the Mad Max trilogy again.
Oh yeah,
the Mad Max trilogy and then continuation.
Yeah.
I love Road Warrior so much.
It's so good.
It's so freaking good. I think I'll love it. I think I'll love it even more the second time, but I think I will probably appreciate the first one more this time too, after getting used to the world. You know,
after getting used to all the leather.
I didn't know what to think the first time I watched it, and you know, by the time you get to the end of Furiosa, I'm definitely used to the assless chaps. And
I've seen dozens of them by now.
You're used to all the people named Toe Jam, and
I'm much more used to the brand of villain that we have in these movies. And so I don't know. I feel like even Mad Max 1 is pretty tame compared to the others. So I can't wait to watch those again. And I like the thought of them as westerns in a way. I like that. I'm gonna go with it in that mindset too. I think that's gonna be really cool.
I think Road Warrior and Fury Road are like intentional.
Yeah.
I think they're actively trying to be westerns.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's the two
And
best ones.
and it makes it we're just gonna talk about Mad Max now.
Let's do
It
it.
makes it even more interesting because during the times of the Wild West in the US, in Australia basically mirrored what we were like going through. They had a bunch of outlaws. The law system was very similar. They had native people in Australia, uh, like so similar in the like same types of struggles and things that were going on in the US. So I feel like it only
Just
makes
upside
sense.
down,
Exactly, everything's upside down, and more assless chaps there. But yeah, definitely, it makes sense. It checks out, I guess is what I was trying to say.
If you're listening to this and you want to hear us talk about Mad Max more, we have talked about it extensively on this podcast. We have a whole episode devoted to the trilogy,
Yeah,
and then an episode on Fury Road and an episode on Furiosa,
yeah.
where me and Drew love it, and James isn't there to be a party pooper.
Yep.
I liked it.
I think you would have liked it more if you would have been there on the pod with us, honestly.
I was listening in my car going, no.
And then at one point you're like, all right, I've had enough.
But yeah.
Yeah, so
Back to this movie.
Guys.
Something that's also really interesting about this one though is that it's 3 hours, but when you this makes sense when we think about the idea of taking scenes that probably look short on the script but are stretched out to just last 10 minutes at a time. It's not like it's super 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 plot heavy. I think if I had a tiniest critique, it would be, I think, kind of in the middle. We get a little bit of like maybe movements happening just for movements of like he's on the train going to look out, and then he finds him on the train, and then they got him go make the deal, and then they get them like there's a little bit of me being like, hold on, what are we doing again, and what are we? There's a little bit of like maybe plot wise being like, I'm not sure. I guess technically I know what's going on, but it feels maybe a little bit of plot padding. But again, like he makes everything so watchable and cool that it's like,
oh yeah.
It's the best kind of plot padding. But by and large, it's a pretty simple story, of I mean, Harmonica, he has so little dialogue, and he's just basically chilling. He is an observer for so much of this movie. He's just here to stake things out until he's ready to like finally go toe to toe with Frank.
Yeah.
And it's Frank is the one involved. Frank and Jill are like the bulk of like the plot. And people like Cheyenne are just like kind of caught up into it. And then he catches himself into it when he learns about the profit to be made. I love whenever he really learns of just how much money is at stake. And all of a sudden he's having all of his men like, okay, no, you drill those stakes, you mark this line. Like once he realizes what it means for this to be ready, he is like all about turning that into a town.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he really is just kind of taking a very kind of basic, simple premise and is just spreading it out over like 3 hours until and then we kind of like Harmonica and Frank kind of go off and settle things in a way that's they become unrelated to everything else. Like their spat ceases to really be relevant anymore because like the railroad's here, everything's happening, and now they're like, let's just walk over there and kind of let's go settle this. You know, the world's here now. It's just you and me. Um, but I feel like that's a really, I don't know, interesting way for like to have things plot out.
Yeah, because I feel like in a typical movie, they would be tied up in the plot, and like there would be two sides or something, and they would be fighting each other for the land or something. like it would just be kind of, that would be your average ending. But no, the ending is, you know, the town is being built, and there's no conflict there, and the conflict is a conflict of the past, which we find out, you know, which is really, really great. I love that. It really is. It's different, and it sets it apart, because you're right. Otherwise, it is pretty simple, but it sets it apart from what most movies would have done.
Yeah. And just having the direction and score absolutely elevate everything. Yeah. That's why, like, you know, like these simple stories, there's nothing wrong with a simple story. Okay. But if you have enough other elements there to keep it fresh and interesting.
If you know like why a simple story works. Like I feel like there's two different kinds of storytellers. There's the kind that can tell you why the simple story works, and then there's the kind who just tells the simple story because it's, you know, he's like, well, that's a story that I guess people have told. Well, I'll do that. That's easy to emulate, but he can't really tell you why it's told in the first place. And so I feel like this is Leone gets the DNA of the Western and the DNA of like story. So he can take something simple and he can, I don't know, tell it in an earnest way.
Yeah, tells it in an earnest way, and adds some nuance and depth to it to pull out of, and thematic weight, you know? Because like, yeah, I think it would be really easy for a movie like this that's, you know, plot wise pretty simple, to just kind of keep it surface level in all those other ways as well. But so you have the thematic elements, as well as just, you know, on top of being technically perfect in every technical sense. It really does just, it's elevated above, I mean, I can't say above every Western or anything like that, because I haven't seen there's very many I haven't seen, but this is elevated above most movies I've seen. So in general, it's just top notch on every level. So yeah.
Gabe said he's only seen the first $2 films from Leone, and the massive run times have kept me from seeing this and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly yet. I really want to. Yeah, you want to, and you need to, Gabe.
You do.
This and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly are like, to me, they're like transcendent films. They're just unreal.
I can't wait to one day watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
It's still like the number one for me. It's still at the top of my Western list, and is one of those 50 in my top 10.
Yeah.
Ooh, is this one also one of the 50 in your top 10?
This maybe not quite to the same level as the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Gosh, I can't imagine that. That must be amazing.
It's well, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is also like, well, it's not globetrotting because you're in one. Well, no. I mean, you cross the border several times. It's kind of an Odyssey movie where you are just traveling over there. These characters are like finding themselves in these epic Civil War battles, and just they've got the good, the bad, and the ugly. They've got their own little story going on, and then they're just getting caught up in this massive thing that's happening around them as they crisscross the Mexican border with the U.S. border and getting caught in all these things. It is, I don't know. It's incredible.
Well, I have this for when I'm ready to watch it. It's this awesome
heck yeah.
special edition. You like the top part comes off, and it's like it's just so freaking sick.
Awesome.
Yeah, and there's like a whole like art book in here.
Dude, get ready for more just minutes on minutes on minutes of close-up staring.
Special features. I can't wait.
Good.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. I found this one.
That's awesome.
Bought it in knowing I will watch it very soon.
Yeah, it's so good.
Do you have to? So I know it's a trilogy. Probably should watch all three, right?
It's more of like a thematic trilogy. There's a lot of debate as to whether he's even the same guy in all of them.
Gotcha.
I feel like Mad Max
Han Solo and the.
Well, actually, I feel like there is kind of that Mad Max feel of like,
oh yeah,
does order really matter? These are mostly stories people are telling about this, the man with no name.
I forgot about that aspect of Mad Max. I love that so much. Yes.
So like you definitely see that in the Dollars trilogy.
Okay, cool.
Really the primary reason, if there were a reason to really worry about order, it's because I do think that those films get notably better with each one.
Gotcha.
And so if you watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, I truly do love Fistful of Dollars and A Few Dollars More, but I do think those movies are going to have a harder time like grabbing you and convincing you that no, I'm a great movie too. If you're coming off of The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
I agree.
Like it's just that one is a complete other level.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll probably still watch the others first, just because I feel weird not doing that. But yeah,
that's the one you're gonna work towards. That's the ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. Well,
where do we go next here?
Well, let's talk about that reveal with harmonica real quick, because I've kind of just dipped our toes in it, but that transition from his stare and then it like cutting into the flashback.
By the way, I love how it teases the flashback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Throughout the
film.
The walking, and it's like this, in a distance, and you can't make out who the figure is that's walking toward you, the man in black. But every time it does it, the harmonica is in the harmonica song is in the flashback, and it's like, why are they doing this? This is cool.
Yeah.
And when they finally reveal everything, it's like, whoa, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I remember.
It's cool, but it's so freaking tragic. It's like depressing.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. So good, so horrible.
It's so good. It's so cool.
I remember before we watched this, James had mentioned like this has one of the greatest reveals of all time, and when I got to this, I was like, "There's no way. This is unbelievable."
So I was actually meaning that in terms of harmonica's reveal at the train, but I think it also applies here.
Yeah, it applies here, and it applies for like a lot of the intros. But like, yeah, it's one of those things where like you should have expected it in some capacity, but like I really didn't. I wasn't sure. I couldn't quite figure out like what is the connection here? Like why is he here doing all of this? But when we get that reveal, chills went down my spine, and it just completely changes the way that you think about his character. And then because of that, when you rewatch the movie, you're like, oh yeah, this guy, he is on a mission, and
Yeah,
you,
you really see the mission on the rewatch.
yeah, yeah,
Well, and like to kind of talk about what we were mentioning earlier with just this, like things being simple. It really is. It's a pretty simple revenge story, you know. Like there's not really any extra insights or nuance or anything crazy. It's he was wronged and he's out here for revenge and he gets his revenge and the movie ends. And
gets his
but it's
revenge in the
all
coolest way
it's
possible
yeah,
too.
and it's like what makes it interesting and compelling and memorable is the specifics and the feel of it. And like the harmonica already being like that being his name, him always having it with him, his theme, all like anytime he shows up the theme plays. And so tying that into the reveal in such an important way. And then like it is super super depressing, but like it being his brother standing on his shoulders, like just that image of the lone arch in a complete otherwise completely flattened environment.
Mhm.
It looks memorable. It like that
Yeah,
image of him standing on the shoulders in the arch with Frank around him, like that's just an iconic image to me. So it's like, yeah, it's a straightforward revenge story, but like the details and specifics are so unique and so particular and specific that it's not just, oh wait, hold on, is that the one where he shot his brother or did he, well, it's like no, that's the one where like he made him stand on him while he played the harmonica. And he did, like it's just,
yeah,
it gives you so much to like latch onto and all so many details that make that scene what it is.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
It,
it's so good. It just hits so hard too.
it does.
If,
And
if I'm not mistaken, that guitar theme hits in pretty hard there, right? Am I
oh
right?
yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it's
It's one of the best uses of it, and
yeah.
I love how the harmonica ends up becoming diegetic again,
Yep.
as this goes on, and when he puts the harmonica in Frank's mouth
Yeah.
and his dying breaths
Oh,
are like playing through it and it's like all distorted. That is the coldest way
yeah.
to get your revenge. It is incredible.
Who are you? And he didn't. Am I correct? He doesn't say anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
he
just
just
no, he
puts the
doesn't.
harmonica in his mouth and he knows instantly who he is. It's
Yep.
so
the look of realization on Frank's
yeah.
eyes.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so satisfying.
And there's so many, like, man, speaking of eyes, like there's so many shots of just close-ups on the eyes in this, and
Mhm.
it it says everything. The way it's shot and the performances, those eyes tell you everything you need to know about these characters.
Well,
Yeah.
it's why like so many posters for his movies are just the shots of characters' eyes. Like, I mean, we get like probably 10 minutes of eye close-ups of the good, the bad, the like that's just he I think he casts people with like distinct faces,
Yeah.
and just like John or Charles Bronson is a very unique looking man. Like
Yes.
you're always going to be able to pick him out of a lineup.
Yeah.
uh and I think the Leone just loves taking a wide lens camera and shoving it into somebody's face. And he's like, if you're a good actor, this camera in your face is it's what you need to act. Like it's
Yep.
just you should be able to tell a story and tell emotions just through your eyes. And he does a lot of that, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
My one last thing that I have that I wanted to really talk about was it's kind of a question I have, and I wanted to see what you guys think, because this is like the one thing in the movie that I was like, that's kind of weird. And it's Cheyenne at the end. When did he get shot?
Yeah, that was another thing for me where I was like,
I thought I
if
missed something. Like
you
I thought
didn't
I fell asleep or something.
he's like, oh, it was on the way back from the train, I think. It is a plot moment to me that kind of feels like the movie just it wants Charles Bronson, it wants Harmonica to be like the one man to kind of walk away.
Uh-huh.
And so it does feel like it kind of just
Forces it in
shortcuts
there.
its way to Cheyenne dying.
I really watched again, like how he was acting in the house when he was talking to Jill this time, and it didn't seem like he
Yeah.
was like in pain or anything like that. And I was looking for it, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I felt like, okay, so it's not just me.
No, yeah, I think he cheats a little bit to
Okay.
get that moment.
Yeah,
That's the one thing. That was the only thing in the movie where I was like, does this keep it from 5 stars? Or are we so far above 5 stars with everything else that this little thing doesn't matter? And that's kind of where I landed.
yeah.
The interstellar problem.
It's one of those things where I didn't really like think of it in the moment because so much is happening. But yeah, in my head canon, when he was at the train, the guy shot him, like, and
Well, I
we
think
didn't
he
see it.
says that. Like he
Yeah,
says it was on his way back. There were some of Frank's men there, yada 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 kind of thing.
yeah,
But I'm kind of with Michael, where like you rewatch it and it never quite gives you that like, oh, like that's what that was there.
Yeah.
hmm
It just kind of plays out like normal, and then it's a, oh, by the way, I'm dead.
yeah,
Yeah. That's kind of what I was hoping, that I missed something in the house talking to Jill. Like, oh, yeah, he's limping there. Or like, yeah, oh, he does not look well, or something like that. And he's just
yeah,
fine, I think.
yeah.
So that was my only issue, really, with the entire movie. I think like the only one I can think of right now. And again, it's like, I don't think it's a nitpick. It's like it's an issue, but ultimately it doesn't like knock it down or anything.
No, I
It's a
think if it
6
knocked
star
it down.
otherwise. So
Yeah, exactly. This is a 6-star, 4.5-star film.
It's one
right,
of
Curry.
those. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a 5-star. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. James, do you have anything else?
I don't think so. I think like so many of my thoughts. This sounds like a slight, but it's not. It's I mean this as a massive compliment. But I feel like so many of my thoughts about any one scene you can just kind of copy and paste and apply to like all the other scenes in the movie as a whole, which is just like he takes something short and simple on paper and he makes it into like the coolest thing ever and puts the coolest music you've ever heard over it
mm-hmm.
and makes you stare at horizons and faces and wind blowing through tumbleweeds and dirt for minutes at a time, and you're happy to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did want to bring up one thing from the beginning. I forgot to talk about. I don't want to go too long, but I know, obviously, like I know what blocking is, but I feel like there is a scene at the very beginning of the movie. There's a part where I was like, if there's an image that can tell me what blocking is, it's that. Like the way that uh, Frank's gang was standing in the different doorways at different depths of field, in the beginning. If you can if you go back and watch it, it's like the way that it almost looked like they were standing next to each other, but like you had this guy standing in this doorway and this guy standing in this doorway way back here, but it was like they're like right there in the same shot, and then you have this other person over here. I was like, man, like the way that you used the space in that shot was just like the most intentional thing ever. And I'm like, how long did he work on getting that shot? That shot just right. And so I just wanted to bring even just like that simple little thing up. It stuck out to me immediately. Like, wow, just even that's so cool and so directed. You know, just stuff like that all over the movie. But it really stuck out in that, 10 minutes where we didn't have any dialogue other than the poor old man. It's like that could be $250. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. I thought it was super cool.
Yeah.
Also, the really funny line I have written down. The guy at the tavern says this after all the craziness that happens at the tavern, and he's talking. All that happens, and he just turns to Jill and he's like, now I'm just too quiet, or sorry, now I'm just too used to a quiet, simple country life.
Yeah.
And Jill's like, huh?
Dude, that guy, he's trying, man.
Oh yeah.
I thought about going down to New Orleans.
Oh, what? Okay, my final thing, real quick, and then we'll give our ratings for this. One of the best lines of dialogue is in the tavern. There's an exchange between Cheyenne and Harmonica.
Jill? Oh,
yeah, and let me pull up the full quote real quick because it's so freaking good. Let me see. I just had it a second ago, and then it refreshed and it went away.
See, I thought you were gonna be choosing the line Cheyenne to Jill when he says that she reminds him of his mother. Just with the music and the setting and the context. It throws me every time when it is Jill. Jill, you remind me of my mother. She was the biggest whore in Alameda and the finest woman that ever lived.
Oh man. No, it was not that one, but that one did get a great laugh out of me. I can't find the full quote now. I don't know what the heck happened to it, which is really frustrating. But it's when they have the exchange. And then oh heck yeah. Cheyenne says or sorry, Harmonica says there were no dollars back then, or maybe it's the other way around, and then he's like, but sons of bitches, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a great line.
Just so many great quotable lines.
I should have just compiled like a list of the one-liners before this episode.
There's a lot of good ones.
Because there's so many, like the 10 minutes of staring are usually punctuated or kind of interspersed with incredible little one-liners.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime a character says something, you're like, oh, I wish I could think of things half that cool.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap these things up. And by these things,
wrap it up.
I mean those ratings. So, gents, Michael, let's start off with you. What's your rating? I'm pretty sure we didn't talk about it at all.
Nah, not at all. 5 stars. Yeah, this is one of those movies I got done, and I was like, I did have that one issue that we talked about, but everything else is so freaking good and is mesmerizing. that it's definitely one of those movies. Like I feel like there's movies that you have to really wrestle with, kind of like Magnolia, and where you have to really think about it. I love movies that make you work to make it a 5-star. Like it's like, okay, I've watched this 2 or 3 times now. I get it. You know, I love it when that happens. It's like my favorite thing. But I also love watching a movie that you automatically know, like that's an all-time great, and I know why. Now I know why. So that's this. This is I didn't even have to think about it. I think I knew it was a 5-star when the guitar hit in the first time. I think it was when Frank's, the Frank when he kills the kid, that guitar hits in, and you're like, not because I love children being murdered, but just the the way that music hits in and just says, get out of the way, I'm here. There was something about that moment and everything leading up to it. The intro where there's no dialogue for however long, the tavern, and then this scene, it's like, holy crap. Like this is like the most and then that music being the punctuation on it. It's just the exclamation point on all of that. It was just like, okay, I'm watching greatness here. And then the rest of the movie just had me the whole way. So yeah, 5-star easily. I didn't have to think too much about it.
Yeah. James, what about you? How much thinking did you have to do?
Yeah, I'm also at 5 stars on this, and yeah, like there's the Cheyenne thing, and then I think in the middle sometimes the plot moves around a little bit. Yeah, it's a little thick, but any criticism just kind of stands in the shadow of like the unique greatness of this film, because I think it's such a uniquely great film. And it feels like a milestone in cinema. Like it feels like if you're just charting movies, the history of movies and important things when they happen, it feels like you set down a stake in Once Upon a Time in the West. Like, and here something important in film was done. And
well put. I love that.
It feels like a marker. And not in a kind of, and it didn't do a lot great, or it was overall really well, but it did this one thing really great, and that's why I remember it's like it as a whole was so great and unique. And it's just, it's, you're just kind of, it has so many moments that for me really does feel like it's just like knocking me flat on my couch, being like, you can do this in movies, I guess. Holy crap. Wow.
No, that, like I said, this to me, it was one of those movies where it felt like I was having a life-changing experience. I was like, I've never seen anything like this before. And I've seen The Good, Bad, and the Ugly before, which I really need to rewatch now. But this was just absolutely fantastic from start to finish. And this is what everyone should aspire to be like as a filmmaker. Just in terms of direction and style and being absolutely creative with every single shot.
Letting things breathe. Letting scenes breathe.
Yeah. And also having amazing one-liners.
Yeah.
And the coolest music of all time.
I was about to say,
it
really makes me want to watch that Ennio documentary now.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. And I have a pretty strong feeling that this might become my favorite Western film ever. I need to rewatch The Good, Bad, and the Ugly before I'm like absolutely setting one in stone. But there's nothing more to be said. It's phenomenal. So yeah, 5 stars. So
15 stars it is.
15 stars it is. Yep. But yeah, speaking of stars, if you like listening to this, give us those 5 stars on your favorite streaming platforms. Give us a like on the YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave some comments. And also join our Facebook group, Banter Fodder, a film and television discussion group, which you can find all of those things in the link tree in the description below, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, it feels good to finally be back.
This was fun.
And get into the swing of things again. I've really missed this. So thank you everyone who tuned in. There's a lot of comments that we didn't get to. We've been doing bad about that lately, but we're rusty, so letting it slide this one time. But yeah, we really appreciate everyone who tuned in and were chatting with us even when we didn't respond in real time with all of the comments. But yeah, as always, go support your local theaters and watch a bunch of movies. There's an insane amount of stuff coming out right now. Everything from big movies to small indie films. Next week, you can watch Wake Up Dead Man in select theaters. Hopefully, you have one nearby, unlike Michael.
If they don't put one near Little Rock, I will literally. No, I don't want. I don't want to say something terrible.
Netflix,
I will be.
You're gonna wake
furious.
up dead, man.
I will wake up dead, man.
Exactly. But yeah, I am seeing it next week, so I'll let you know what I got. I'll let you guys know what I think about it.
If I have to wait to watch it on freaking Netflix, I'm going to boycott Netflix and never
After you
watch it.
No, after you watch it.
It's a principle thing. Okay, I'll watch it.
It's
one of my favorite filmmakers.
Inside the donut hole. Yeah, but go see that if you can, because we really need to let Netflix know that, hey, we actually do want to see movies on the big screen.
They won't listen. They're stupid.
Yeah,
Sorry.
They won't. They are stupid. But you know what's not stupid? Supporting your local theaters. So go buy some concessions, watch those movies, and we will see y'all next time, hopefully really soon. Press the wrong button. There we go.